Welcome back. Today, I want to speak to the woman who has built a full and meaningful life and yet still carries a real desire in her heart to be loved well, to marry, and to build a grounded, intentional partnership. Maybe you have been waiting longer than you expected. Maybe you thought you would be married by now. Maybe dating has been disappointing, exhausting, or confusing. Maybe you have watched friends announce engagements, post wedding photos, and welcome babies while you have tried to smile, celebrate them sincerely, and quietly wonder, but God, what about me? If this resonates with you, know that your desire for marriage is a beautiful and meaningful part of the human experience. You can be deeply grateful for the life God has given you while also hoping for companionship, covenant, partnership, and love. Your heart's longing reflects its capacity to love and be loved. Rather than focusing on waiting, let's consider the active, intentional choices woven throughout the story of Ruth and Boaz. When dating has been exhausting and hope feels tired, it is completely natural to feel weary or discouraged. Ruth's story is a gentle reminder that you don't have to have it all figured out, and a difficult season of waiting does not define what comes next. It offers quiet reassurance that your heart's desires matter and that new unexpected surprises can find their way into your life when you least expect it. Beyond the practical steps, this story offers a deeply reassuring truth that you are never invisible in your waiting season. It shows us that God sees women in grief. He sees women in uncertainty. He sees women who feel overlooked. And it shows us a picture of love that is not confusing, secretive, or self-centered, but is marked by character, generosity, safety, clarity, and commitment. Ruth's story begins in loss. She's a widow. She is living in a land that is not her own. She has no guaranteed future, no obvious security, and no reason to assume that life will turn out beautifully. Yet God is already at work in her story, often through ordinary choices, ordinary people, and ordinary faithfulness. So today, we are going to cover a few insights from the story of Ruth and Boaz for anyone navigating faith and modern dating while desiring love and marriage. But before we even get into Boaz, we have to talk about what Ruth was actually dealing with, because her starting point was a lot more complicated than most people realize. Ruth had already been married once before and then lost her husband. She chose to remain with Naomi, her mother-in-law, even though that decision meant leaving her homeland, becoming a foreigner in Bethlehem, and stepping into an uncertain future. Ruth did not arrive in Bethlehem with a romantic plan. She arrived with grief, loyalty, and a need for food. She went out to glean in the fields. Gleaning was a provision in Israel's law that allowed for people experiencing poverty, widows, immigrants, and others in need to gather what harvesters had left behind. Ruth was not looking for a husband. She was taking the next responsible step before her. But leaning into that kind of proactive resilience is very different from the messaging often handed to women today. It is so easy to fall into the subtle trap of believing that if we just check all the right boxes, if we heal enough, work hard enough, or make ourselves enough, we will finally earn the relationship we long for. But love is never something we have to work for or earn. Ruth did not have to prove herself worthy of love, but she did live with courage and integrity in the life she had right then. And here's where things get interesting. Ruth reminds us that waiting for love is not the same as putting your life on hold. She went to work. She served Naomi. She participated in her community. She took responsibility for what she could do that day. She did not know how her story would unfold, but she still showed up for her life. For the woman listening today, this may be your invitation. Do not postpone becoming who God is calling you to become because marriage has not happened yet. Take the class, start the business, travel if you can, make meaningful friendships, invest in your mental health, learn how to manage your money, build a home that feels peaceful to you, develop the gifts God has placed within you. Not because you are trying to prove you do not need love, and not because you are trying to force God's hand to send you a husband, but because your life is valuable today. You are not a woman in waiting, as though waiting is your entire identity. You are a daughter of God, a friend, a colleague, a neighbor, a woman of vision, a woman with purpose right now. There is a difference between being open to marriage and being consumed by it. Being open says, I desire this. I am willing to pursue healthy opportunities. I am willing to be known. I am willing to pray, date wisely, and take faithful action. Being consumed says, I cannot enjoy my life until someone chooses me. If you remember only one thing from this episode, this is it. Someone else's choice cannot create your worth. A relationship may add to your life, but it cannot become the foundation of your identity. Ruth's life had dignity before she married Boaz. In fact, Boaz had heard about her character, her loyalty to Naomi, and the courage it took for her to leave her homeland before he ever spoke to her. So here's a question to reflect on. What is one faithful step you can take in your present life without waiting for marriage to give you permission? Maybe it's launching that project you have been putting off. Maybe it's finally letting go of a past relationship. Maybe it's setting a firm, unshakable boundary in a particular relationship. Maybe it's committing to a daily practice that grounds you. Or maybe it's simply giving yourself permission to fully inhabit the life you have today, rather than holding your breath for the next chapter. Your life is not a waiting room you sit in until the door of marriage flings open. It's a place where God is with you now. If you are tired of guessing where you stand or wondering if someone actually values you, keep this in mind. Look for love that brings safety, honor, and clarity. When Ruth meets Boaz, his character is visible in his actions. Boaz does not simply notice Ruth, he protects her. He tells her to glean in his field, stay close to the women working there, and assures her that he has instructed the men not to harm her. He makes sure she has access to water and food, and he generously tells his workers to leave extra grain for her. This is important because women are conditioned to focus on whether a man is interested. But a better question is, what kind of man is he when he has the opportunity to demonstrate care for someone? Does he honor your boundaries? Does he communicate clearly? Does he respect your faith? Does he make you feel emotionally safe or constantly anxious? Does he show consistency, or does he disappear and reappear when it's convenient for him? Does he have integrity when no one is watching? Does he take responsibility for his life? Is he kind to people who cannot advance his image, status, or comfort? Boaz's love was not loud, flashy, or confusing. It was steady. It was practical. It had substance. And I want to say this as gently as possible. Chaos is not chemistry. We live in a dating culture where ambiguity can be normal. Someone can text you all day and still refuse to define the relationship. A person can say they care, but avoid commitment for years. They can want emotional access to you without the responsibility of truly showing up for you. But Boaz shows us what intentional, wholehearted pursuit can look like. When Ruth makes her intentions clear, Boaz does not take advantage of her vulnerability. He does not make an empty promise. He does not leave her in limbo for months. He tells her there is a closer relative with a legal right to act first, and he commits to settling the matter the next day. Then he follows through publicly at the city gate with witnesses, and then he marries her. Because Ruth's story took place so long ago, some parts may feel unfamiliar to you. The family redeemer system shaped how they handled marriage and responsibility. And of course, that system does not directly translate to marriage protocols today, but the principle does translate. Healthy love does not thrive on ambiguity. A godly relationship should make room for honesty. It should make room for wise counsel. It should move forward toward clarity, not endless confusion. Now, that does not mean every relationship will lead to marriage. Sometimes clarity means a person says, I do not see a future here. And as painful as that might be, it is much kinder than being kept in limbo. So, if you are dating, I want to encourage you. Do not abandon discernment because you are tired of waiting. You do not have to accept poor treatment just because you fear this may be your only chance at love. You do not have to become smaller, quieter, less honest, or less faithful to keep someone interested. The right relationship will not require you to abandon yourself or betray your convictions to maintain it. A helpful question is, does this connection produce peace, integrity, and mutual honor, or does it keep me in anxiety, confusion, and compromise? You are not asking for too much by wanting clarity. You are asking for a relationship that reflects the dignity God has given you. What if the turning point in your story isn't waiting to be chosen, but finding the courage to show up and participate in your own story? Sometimes Ruth is presented as a woman who simply waited passively for Boaz to notice her, but in actuality, Ruth was very courageous. After Naomi recognized Boaz as a family redeemer, Ruth followed Naomi's plan to make clear that she was available for marriage and to ask Boaz to fulfill his responsibility. Ruth spoke plainly. She did not manipulate him, but she did not hide her desire either. This is a beautiful reminder for women today that you are allowed to have agency. You can desire marriage. You can go on to date. You can tell trusted friends that you are open to being introduced to someone. You can ask thoughtful questions. You can say, I am dating with intention. You can decide that an undefined relationship no longer works for you. You can be warm, feminine, and faithful without being passive. And agency also means you can walk away. You can walk away from someone who is unavailable. You can walk away from someone who will not honor your boundaries. You can walk away from a relationship that pulls you away from God, your peace, or your self-respect. Courage is not merely pursuing love. Courage is refusing to settle for a counterfeit version of it. Ruth did not walk through life alone. Naomi was part of her story. The women of Bethlehem were part of her story. Boaz's commitment was witnessed publicly by the elders of the city gate. In other words, Ruth's future was not built in isolation. Modern dating can become very private. You may have a whole relationship happening through text messages, late-night phone calls, and social media, but no wise person in your real life knows what is happening. I want to encourage you to invite wise community into your life. Not everyone deserves access to your dating life, but a mature friend, mentor, or counselor may see things that your isolation makes hard for you to discern. Ask people who love God and love you, do you see peace in this relationship? Do you see consistency? Do you see respect? Do you see me becoming a better version of myself? And if you are not dating right now, community still matters. Do not isolate yourself because you feel embarrassed about being single. Let people love you. Let people include you. Let people pray with you. God often meets our needs through the people He places in our lives. In Ruth's story, God's care becomes visible through Ruth's loyalty, the generosity of Boaz, Naomi's wisdom, and the collective validation of the community. The book of Ruth shows God's providence at work through the faithful choices of ordinary people. So your action step from this conversation is simple. Choose one courageous, healthy action this month. Maybe you will finally tell a trusted friend you are open to an introduction. Maybe you will end the undefined relationship. Maybe you will join a small group. Maybe you will take a break from dating to heal. Maybe you will ask God to help you become emotionally available for the kind of love you desire and deserve. Love does not require you to chase desperately, but it does ask you to show up openly. As you walk through this season, consider carrying this mindset. Be hopeful, intentional, and receptive. Hope says, my story is not over. Ruth could not see the full outcome when she stepped into that harvest field and began gathering grain, but she kept taking the next faithful step. You may not know if finding love is near or far, or what seasons of healing are still left to unfold in your life. You may not know when your story will shift, but you can believe that God is present, that your life has meaning, and that your future is not empty simply because you cannot see it. So until that man comes into your life and sweeps you off your feet, live intentionally, live fully, build community, date wisely if you feel led, pursue growth. Let your life be rich with purpose and love in many forms. Being receptive means acknowledging the desire for marriage with honesty, without pretending it does not matter. In a culture that can make love feel rushed or transactional, loneliness or fear of missing out should never be a reason to settle for less. Marriage is a beautiful gift. However, it is not evidence that God loves one woman over another. Your value is not confirmed by a ring. You are not less than because you are unmarried. You are not disqualified from joy, purpose, beauty, friendship, impact, or deep love. And I believe God can surprise you. He's still a God of restoration. He's still able to bring new beginnings from places that look barren. Ruth's story ends with restoration for both Ruth and Naomi, and their son Obed becomes part of the ancestral family line of King David. But even before the ending, God was present. He was present in the field. He was present in the grief. He was present in the meal Boaz shared with Ruth. He was present in Naomi's return to Bethlehem. And He is present with you now. For the woman listening who desires marriage and love, God sees your hopes, your disappointment, your loneliness, and the questions you may be afraid to say out loud, you are not forgotten. May you have courage to live fully in your current circumstances. May you have the wisdom to recognize healthy love, strength to walk away from what does not serve your best interests, and peace in places where you cannot control the outcome. May you remain hopeful for the desires within your heart, trusting that clarity and possibility will unfold in their own time. Should love and marriage be part of your future, may you be led toward a relationship marked by integrity, safety, mutual honor, clarity, and commitment. Above all, know that you are already seen, already loved, and already held by God. We'll leave it there for today. Remember, you are deeply valued, and just like Ruth, every step of faith quietly builds a foundation for what comes next. See you next time.